Listen to that ticking. If your engine sounds like a dying sewing machine when you start it up in the morning, your mechanic is already mentally spending your money. They will tell you it is a collapsed lifter, a failing oil pump, or that you need a $4,000 engine replacement. What they will never tell you is that the real killer is engine oil sludge, and the automotive industry makes billions of dollars letting your motor slowly suffocate. Today, I'm going to show you a $5 aerosol spray that melts thick, baked-on engine sludge so completely and so safely that engine replacement shops hope you never watch this video. Every expensive, pour-in engine flush on the auto parts store shelf is a trap designed to either do absolutely nothing or immediately destroy your motor by clogging your oil pickup tube. The real answer has been sitting on the bottom shelf for decades. Let me show you how to save your engine and your wallet. The $200 snake oil trap. I want to be completely transparent with you. I did not figure this out because I am some kind of automotive genius who intuitively understands chemical engineering. I figured this out because I ran out of money doing it the wrong way. 3 years ago, I had a daily driver that started developing a harsh metallic ticking noise from the top end of the engine. It was subtle at first, just a light chatter when the engine was cold. But within a few months, it sounded like someone had thrown a handful of gravel into a blender. Like most people, I made the first classic mistake. I switched to a thicker weight of oil. I thought, if the oil is thicker, it will cushion the metal parts better. All that did was quiet the noise down by about 10% while accelerating the actual damage happening inside the block. Then the check engine light came on. Code P0011, camshaft position timing over advanced. I panicked and went to the auto parts store. If you walk down the chemicals aisle, you will see an entire section dedicated to engine flushes and oil treatments. They are usually in brightly colored bottles promising to dissolve sludge, free sticky lifters, and restore your engine to factory condition while you drive. They cost anywhere from $15 to $30 a bottle. I bought 3 different brands over the course of 3 oil changes. I poured them in, drove the required mileage, and drained the oil. The ticking never stopped. The check engine light kept coming back. In desperation, I took the car to a dealership. They told me I had a severe sludge problem and recommended their professional pressurized engine flush service for $200. I handed over my credit card, desperate for a fix. They ran harsh industrial detergents through the oiling system under pressure. Here is what actually happened. The $200 flush did not cure the ticking. But what it did do was destroy the old, brittle rubber seals inside my engine. A week later, my oil pan gasket and rear main seal began leaking a quart of oil every 2 weeks. I was out over $300 in chemicals and services, my engine was leaking, it was still ticking, and the service advisor calmly handed me an estimate for a $4,500 used engine replacement. That is when I stopped trusting the marketing and started researching the chemistry. The science of the mechanical heart attack, to understand why the bottled solutions failed. And why the $5 spray works, you have to understand the physics of what engine sludge actually is. Modern engines run hotter and tighter than anything built in the 1990s, to appease emissions regulations and reduce friction. Manufacturers use low-tension piston rings and extremely tight clearances. When you combine this extreme internal heat with the modern, manufacturer recommendation of 10,000-mile oil change intervals, you create a perfect storm. Motor oil does not just lubricate. It suspends dirt, carbon, and combustion blow-by gases. When oil is pushed past its thermal breakdown point, it oxidizes. It cooks. The base oil evaporates, and the additives break down, leaving behind a thick, gelatinous, abrasive carbon paste. This is sludge. It coats the inside of your valve cover, blocks your oil return passages, and most importantly, it chokes your variable valve timing, VVT, solenoids. VVT solenoids operate using tiny, microscopic screens to control oil pressure. When sludge blocks those screens, your camshaft timing fails, your check engine light comes on, and your engine starts ticking. Here is the fatal flaw of pour-in engine flushes. Standard pour-in flushes are primarily composed of kerosene or light mineral spirits. When you pour them into your crankcase and run the engine, they attack the top layer of the sludge, but they do not liquefy it. They break the heavy, baked-on sludge off in chunks. Think of it like plaque in a human artery. If a piece of that plaque breaks off, it travels through the bloodstream until it hits a passage too small for it to fit through, causing a heart attack. When a pour-in flush breaks a chunk of sludge off your cylinder head, that chunk drops directly into your oil pan. Sitting at the bottom of your oil pan is the oil pickup tube. This tube has a wire mesh screen on it, designed to filter out large debris before the oil pump sucks the fluid up into the engine bearings. The sludge chunks get sucked up against that mesh screen. Within minutes, the screen is completely clogged. Your oil pump is now starving for fluid. Oil pressure drops to zero, your bearings run completely dry, and your engine seizes. You tried to fix a ticking sound and you accidentally murdered your engine. The $5 spray reveal, the actual solution is a specific class of aerosol spray, a high-concentration naphtha and xylene-based parts cleaner. You will usually find this labeled as heavy-duty carburetor cleaner or non-chlorinated brake parts cleaner, specifically the highly volatile flammable formulas. A can of Berryman B12 Chantul or a premium high-solvent carb cleaner costs about $4.50 to $6 at any big box store. Here is the mechanochemical difference. You do not spray this into your oil and run the engine. You use it surgically. When you spray a high-concentration naphtha toluene xylene formula directly onto exposed, baked-on engine sludge under the valve cover, the aerosol propellant and the aggressive solvent formula do not break the sludge into chunks. They liquefy it at the molecular level. It turns that thick, dangerous gel into a watery, dark liquid. Because it is completely liquefied, it cannot clog the oil pickup tube screen. When I finally tested this on my own heavily sludged engine, I hooked up an analog oil pressure gauge. Before the treatment, the engine was pushing a dismal 14 psi of oil pressure at warm, idle borderline starvation. After dissolving the top-end sludge surgically, clearing the VVT screens and doing a proper flush cycle, the oil pressure at warm idle stabilized at 24 psi, a 40% restoration in oil pressure simply because the restriction was permanently removed. The surgical clean application do not just grab a can and start spraying. There is a precise, foolproof methodology to doing this safely. If you skip a step, you risk pushing debris where it does not belong. What you need: 2 to 3 cans of high-solvent aerosol carb parts cleaner. Look for naphtha, toluene, acetone, or xylene on the back. A new valve cover gasket specifically for your vehicle. 5 to 6 quarts of cheap, conventional motor oil for the flush phase. Your vehicle's required amount of premium full synthetic oil for the final fill. 2 cheap oil filters and 1 premium oil filter. A pack of clean, lint-free microfiber shop rags. Basic hand tools, usually a 10mm socket set. Step 1. The access you need to expose the sludge. This means removing the valve cover. I know this sounds intimidating to a beginner, but on 90% of modern 4-cylinder engines, the valve cover sits right on top and is held down by 8 to 12 simple 10mm bolts. Remove your ignition coils, unclip any hoses in the way, undo the bolts, and pop the plastic or aluminum cover off. Once off, you will see the nightmare. The valvetrain will likely be coated in a thick, black, burnt brown crust. Step 2. The blockade. Do not skip this. Look down at the cylinder head. You will see several medium-sized holes leading down into the bottom of the engine block. These are the oil drain back holes. You must plug these holes temporarily with your lint-free rags. Why? Because when we melt the sludge, we want to trap as much of the liquefied carbon up top as possible so we can wipe it away. We do not want a tidal wave of solvent and carbon rushing down into the oil pan all at once. Step 3. The liquefaction. Put on safety glasses and chemical-resistant gloves. Take your $5 aerosol spray and begin applying targeted, short bursts directly onto the heavily caked valvetrain, camshafts, and VVT solenoids. Do not drown the engine. Spray an area, watch the solvent immediately begin melting the carbon, and let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes. The hard crust will turn into a soft, runny paste. Step 4. The extraction. Take your clean rags and carefully wipe away the melted sludge. You will be shocked at how easily it comes off. It wipes away like soft butter. Clean the camshaft caps, the areas around the springs. and meticulously wipe down the inside of the valve cover you removed earlier, which is usually where the thickest sludge lives. Once the top end is visually clean and the metal is shining again, carefully pull out the rags plugging the drain holes, ensuring no lint or debris falls down. Step 5. The flush cycle. Put the valve cover back on using your new valve cover gasket. Reinstall your coils. Now drain your old, dirty engine oil. Leave the drain plug out and the drain pan underneath. Spray half a can of your solvent directly down the oil fill cap, letting it run straight through the engine and out the bottom, washing away any residual chemical. Put the drain plug back in. Install one of the cheap oil filters. Fill the engine with the cheap conventional motor oil. Start the engine. Let it idle. Do not drive it. Do not rev it. Let it idle in your driveway for exactly 15 minutes. This conventional oil is acting as a sweep. It circulates, picking up any microscopic liquefied carbon we missed and traps it in the cheap oil filter. Turn the engine off. Drain this flush oil. It will come out completely black, which is exactly what we want. Remove the cheap filter. Install your premium oil filter and fill the engine with high-quality, full synthetic oil. The ticking will be gone. The VVT solenoids will be clear. The restriction is eliminated. The point of no return. Honest limitations. I need to ground this in reality, because no $5 chemical is magic, and I will not pretend it is. This process is a targeted solvent extraction, not a mechanic in a can. 1. It does not replace missing metal. This spray removes sludge. It frees up stuck lifters and cleans variable valve timing screens. However, if your engine was starved of oil for so long that the camshaft lobes are physically worn down, or the lifters are physically broken, no spray on earth will fix that. 2. The glitter test. Before you even attempt this, drain your current oil and look at it in the sunlight. If the oil looks like it is full of gold, copper, or silver glitter, stop. That metallic glitter is your engine bearings. The sludge starved the engine of oil, the metal ground against metal, and the bearings have disintegrated. Your engine is structurally dead. A spun rod bearing requires a rebuild or a replacement. 3. The gasket warning. I mentioned earlier that dealership flushes can cause leaks. Cleaning sludge manually can occasionally do the same thing, but for a different reason. On very old engines, 150,000 plus miles, sometimes the only thing keeping oil from leaking out of old, hardened timing cover seals is a thick layer of sludge blocking the gap. When you clean the engine perfectly, you remove the false seal. You might notice a small oil seep afterward. That is not the spray damaging your engine. That is the spray revealing a leak you already had but couldn't see. The dealership math versus the DIY truth. Let's put the numbers on the table, because the math is what truly exposes the industry. If you do nothing about a sludged engine, you are on a one-way street to catastrophic failure. At best, a heavily sludged VVT solenoid will eventually fail entirely. A dealership will charge you roughly $150 for the diagnostic fee, and between $500 and $800 to replace the VVT phasers and solenoids. At worst, the oil pickup tube clogs completely on the highway. The engine seizes. You are towed to a shop, and you are handed a bill for $4,000 to $6,000 for a used engine swap plus labor. Now let's look at the actual cost of the permanent solution. 2 cans of aerosol parts cleaner, $10. A new valve cover gasket, $20 to $30. Cheap flush oil and a throwaway filter, $25. Premium synthetic oil and a high-end filter, $45. For roughly $100 and 2 hours of your time on a Saturday morning, you have surgically removed the cancer from your engine block. You haven't masked the problem with a thicker oil, and you haven't risked a heart attack by pouring harsh solvents into your crankcase blindly. The automotive industry knows exactly how to clean an engine safely. Master mechanics use targeted aerosol solvents on torn-down engines every single day in the back of the shop. But they don't sell that process on the retail shelf. They sell you $25 bottles of hope that keep you trapped in the cycle of degradation, right up until you need to finance a new car. Dealerships profit from the $4,000 engine replacement. They do not profit from the $5 preventative spray. Stop trusting the 10,000-mile extended maintenance myth. Change your full synthetic oil every 5,000 miles. And if you bought a used car with a neglected history, do not wait for the ticking to start. Take off the valve cover, assess the damage, and take back control of your vehicle's lifespan. If this breakdown just saved you from a $4,000 mechanic bill, hit that subscribe button, because empowering you with the truth is what we do here. And speaking of silent engine killers, the universal coolant you've been topping off your radiator with might be eating your water pump from the inside out. Watch the next video before you ever open that radiator cap again.